Are you an actor out there who would love to know what goes on in the mind of a talent agent? Well, this is the perfect show for you. Today's guest is my talent agent. Her name is Jenn David, and she's from the Southeast. She's going to give us some tips and advice as to how you can up your game as an actor in this crazy business. Hey everybody, we're back, and I am extremely excited today to have somebody very special on the show. And I'm just so excited she agreed to do it. It's actually perfect timing in a way because, things in the industry are completely changed. And so she's going to share a little bit about that with us today as well. So I want to introduce to you Jenn David. Hey, Jenn, I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was really excited actually when I got your email. I've done a couple of these, over the last 2 weeks, but when you get one from your own family, I was like, yay!
Exactly. So first of all, I just would say you are beautiful. I think I have the best looking agent in the business.
Oh,
She's
please.
so beautiful inside and out. And I am so honored to have you today.
Oh,
So
thank you.
the reason why I wanted to have you on is because, like I said, first of all, I know that agents are so hardworking and so busy. And I know that, during this time, things are a little bit, hang on a second. There we go. And I know during this time, things have changed a lot, and I thought, well, maybe now's a good time to talk to her, while she's home, we're not all running around all over the place right now. So, maybe it'd be a good time to talk. You can share with, I obviously know a lot of actors and have a lot of actor friends. So I thought it'd be really cool to have a conversation with you. So so one of the things I wanted to ask you, which is actually a good question for me because I've never asked, why did you become a talent agent? Like, what made you decide to go that route?
The question of all questions, right? Well, my answer is quite cliche. I mean, it really is, but it is the truth. It's not something that I ever, thought or set out to be, which is kind of actually how I live most of my life, actually. I sought out to be an Olympic gymnast and trained for years and had a, scholarship, blew out my knee, and then from that moment, my life has been just pretty much about whatever feels right, and so, I started after, I retired from gymnastics, when I was in college. I kind of jumped into the world of entertainment as a dancer, choreographer, and then that led me then to learning about acting and, all of this stuff. And I started training in Meisner, and I started taking classes, and I just loved the process so much, like the whole method. And then that led me, I got my own agent, and that, just kind of led me down that path. But as going down that road, I fell in love with just the whole process, from pre-production all the way through post and distribution, and just all of it, because I love business and I love creating businesses. I love creating brands. I love, and I have several that I have, and
several.
and so so I just love the craft, and I'm very passionate about excellent work, and really good storytelling, and really good, writing, and good cinematography, just the overall just excellence of content and a piece. And so when I moved to Nashville, with the big boom in Atlanta happening, and a lot of, major network shows, and of course when streaming hit, that pretty much is major network now. It used to be new media, and it's still new media, but it's like new media when it first kind of hit the scene was like, webisode, very smaller, and now it's like, it's the same as a network, it's like it's just totally grown so much over the last probably 4 years. But so I just I love the story of CAA so much, and I know they're a big giant, obviously, but I've read and listened to their book several times, CAA Powerhouse, and it just feels like what my life is constantly like, of just coming together from an entrepreneurial standpoint and trying to disrupt an industry for the better, and kind of take it to the next level, or lead it in a certain direction. And that's really what CAA did back whenever they left William Morris, and their whole story is really amazing. And so I kind of got inspired to go on that same journey, but for the Southeast, and being woman owned, and just it just seemed like it had a lot of validity for today, and in the times that we live in, and not being in LA, or not being outside of Hollywood. So that's what I'm doing with the agency, and so that's the journey that I've been on. So
Smart. I think that's the thing. You're very smart. You know, even the fact of, like you said, going to an area where that's not as condensed, or was such a smart move. So that's awesome. And now,
well, I'm not trying to go recreate a CAA in Hollywood. That's for sure.
right? Yeah. So I mean, I think that is that's such a great path and a direction to go. And I just have to point something so random out, but I just realized this every time I have a guest on, we match. Like I match with guests, like I'm not thinking about it. Like I'm wearing black. Like every guest I go on with, I match. It's like this cool vibe.
That's odd, like the syngency going on. Yeah, that's so great. Well, I always wear black. So.
Me too.
I'm like, if you ever have to be around me and you ever want to match, just wear black, because that's probably what I will be in.
I'm still working on this though, because everyone's like, you look so great in color, but it's not that easy. It's like black goes with everything. It's just makes you feel good.
It really does. It's just like instant dressy. I don't know. It's crazy. I love black.
Totally agree. Cool. So another question I have for you is, obviously, like I said, you're my agent in the Southeast, and actually in other areas too. You're so passionate and dedicated to what you do, and we all see it and we all know it. But I'm just curious, what do you look for in an actor that you are looking to represent? Like, obviously there are thousands of actors, and everybody wants to be an actor. And, sometimes I think to myself, like, maybe even somebody that's starting out, a lot of times agents want people with credits, but some people are willing to take someone that's starting out. So what are you looking for?
Yeah. I definitely am always willing to take someone who is starting out, just because of the market that we're in. And however, because we are in a market that is really growing exponentially in terms of, the more higher value productions with major networks and streaming and things like that, and because I have I'm so blessed to have grown my roster into co-star, guest star, recurring series regular actors, that I've had to start to be a little more choosy. And that's only because things, especially in pilot season, an episodic season, we're really contenders now as an agency in those seasons, and so we're trying to get auditions and we're trying to be competitive. So I've had to kind of be like, okay, even though I have such a heart and I want to encourage everybody, I also want to win too, and I also want to, stay in the game, and I want to get auditions and credits, credits just get that. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, a new actor can be right for the role, and it happened. But typically, when you're talking about, guest star and up, your credits matter. And so with adult actors mostly right now, I'm looking for actors who have some sort of network credit, even if it's co-star, or if they don't have network credit, they have really good training.
My
Like
next
they've,
question,
yeah,
training.
like
Yes.
is training. Because, and the reason, yes, I'm looking at that, but so is casting. And I'm trying, as an agent's job, I mean, well, for me particularly, I'm trying to make casting's job so much easier. Like I'm trying to make it so easy that, everybody that I send or submit is going to have the best, most competitive headshots, up to date, that they are going to be right for the role, at least just for the audition. I'm just trying to get the audition for them, at that first phase of casting. So, but because we are in, a different market, I am able to take on, newer actors, but they have to understand where they fit, and that it's going to be a lot up to them in the beginning, because they need to dive into so much training. And unfortunately, I can't babysit, and I can't, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. They're gonna have to put in the work, and they're gonna have to research, and they're gonna have to figure it out, just like everybody does.
True. I saw a saying today something about, our agents, or agents, I guess, per se, they get 10%, we get 90% of our check. So who should be putting in a lot of work, more work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love, it's so true too.
Yeah,
it's so true.
so
And you wouldn't believe how much talent, it's mostly newer talent. It really is. It's mostly talent that just really don't understand the role of an agent, and they just don't understand where they fit yet in the on the scale of, like, in their minds they think that they're here when really they're here. So I really look for, do they have a sense of kind of reality? If they don't, do I feel like they're able to, with the right information, like if I were to supply them with adequate information and tools and resources that I've worked so hard to have on hand, just because I don't just because I don't have the time, you know what I mean, to really, like, train someone. And that's not the role of an agent anyway.
Yeah, that's
So
manager. Yeah, we have to make sure we're like a complete package. We have everything ready, our pictures, our headshots,
yep,
everything.
it's no different.
Everything.
It's just like selling a house. And it's interesting. Interesting that you'll probably really relate to this. But it's like, you don't call the realtor until you feel like you're ready to put your house on the market, And even when you do call the realtor, she's probably, because she knows the market, she's going to pull the comp, she's going to see, or he, the realtor can be a he too, sorry. I'm just a female, that's why I said she, but but you know what I mean, that realtor, and then they might give you some things to do. You might think your house is worth this, but if it is not comparable, and and that realtor, as the professional, knows the market and has a direct connection to other realtors with buyers and different, and it's literally like the same platform.
Girl, you need to trademark that. I love that. I never thought of it that way, because it's so true. Because I mean, when people come to me looking for a house and they think they're ready, and I'm like, and I list all this stuff, you're not ready yet. Go back and get yourself together, and then we'll go look.
Yeah. So if they don't go do all those things, and then they come at you mad, or you're just like, what do you expect me to do? Because your time and attention is on things that are ready right now. Like right now, you're not going to go show a house to a potential buyer that is just that they just say that they're ready. They just say that they're ready, but they're not. Like, you don't have, this hasn't been done, this hasn't been done, and it might not even be listed. Like it might not even be fully listed on your MLS or, whatever.
Right.
And it's like, you're not going to go, like, because you have buyers that are ready right now. Like they're ready to go. They're pre-qualified. They're whatever, So you're not going to go show them houses that because you're not doing, you're doing a disservice then to your buyers if you're not like, they're ready to go. And so it's like, that's where an agent, I've got, when casting sends me stuff and on breakdown, like I don't want to lose their trust with me, if I'm sending them, oh, I promise there's no headshot here, but I promise she's just like this character.
It's like
I can't.
My client, they got the money. I promise. Just go my word.
I promise. Well, where's the pre-qual letter? Like, you've got to send a pre-qual letter. You've got to do this. Like, there's a process, And an agent is that connector of buyers, which is casting, casting and producers and networks and all that. We're the buyers of ready to go talent, like that fit. And it's always a now. And so if I don't have what I need right now, then I'm not going to send you yet. That doesn't mean that I won't, doesn't mean that I can't, or it just actually does mean, it means that I can't. Like I just can't. And it's not my fault. That's your, you're the owner of your own house.
Oh my gosh, that was eye-opening. Thank you for that. That was really good.
Yeah, well, I lived my whole life through metaphors, so that's how I think that's how I'm able to like connect dots and make it click, and to even to where I don't know. So I've used that analogy a lot, but it's true. It's exactly like that.
I feel like you kind of answered my next question in a way, but if you have another tip, we can totally go into that. My next question for you was like, what is something that you wish that every actor knew about a talent agent? Like, because sometimes, like you said, people have this like concept or idea of what, they're just sitting at home and, maybe be just, like sitting out here and like, it's just, your job is so easy. Like, so what is he's like, do you got all day, Keisha?
Just kidding. We're not managers. I would say that would be, learn and understand the difference between an agent and a manager. We're not managers. Like, we're not like truly, your manager can be talking to you every day. Like, that's why managers have smaller rosters. They don't have 300, 400, 500, and that's a mid-sized agency, but there are some agencies that have 1,000, or whatever, so because we have ready to go talent in all different looks, all different capabilities, and our main job is to get auditions. Now, if a talent is not getting a response from casting, that's why we drop talent, because we make money when talent books those auditions. So if I can't even get casting to and I've submitted to 300 things, you know what I mean? It's like, something's wrong here, and that's when you need to go to your manager and discuss that, because I would then call your manager or email your manager and be like, look, listen, I don't know what the deal is, and of course, I work with me and we try to figure it out. But at the end of the day, like, if it's not working, agents kind of move on. And then if it comes back into play, like, that's cool. But that's where your manager comes in, because they're your gatekeeper for everything. Your new headshots, your look, your this, your that, to talk with your agents. So, that's not your agent. Agents don't have the time, because I mean, we're getting, well, before Corona, sometimes I'm managing 40 auditions, do tapes, different projects, different characters, different sides at one time. Like, you know, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't have the time to
Mhm.
tell you which headshot. Like, I just need you and your manager to like do it. And then if it doesn't work, I'll tell you. Like, if it's not like this isn't working or whatever, you know, oh, trust me, like I'll reach out and tell you, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, can we change this, do that? But I just need talent to just manage your company, your house, manage your house. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And constantly be working on it, and don't just sit and wait on me, because I'm probably more than likely waiting on you.
Yeah. Quick question too, going back a little bit in what you said, because I've thought this before, and I've had some of my friends, so I'm sure that we'd all love to hear this answer to this question. So, you know, like you said, you're submitting people, you know, you have talent that maybe aren't getting called in, but say if you have talent that are getting called in, but they're not booking per se. And I know me and my actor friends, we've had this discussion. We get concerned. We're like, is the agent going to
Yeah.
drop us? We're worried. You know, we're not booking.
Hmm.
What do you say to that?
Yeah. So I'm sure every agent is different, you know, but for me, I'm fine with that. As you know, I the fact that you're getting caught, because there are things that we can control and there are things that we can't control. And we can't control
Yeah.
whether we get callbacks and all, you know, and down, you know, all the way to bookings. We cannot control that.
Right.
What we can control are things like training, headshots, constantly tweaking, refining, you know, reassessing self tapes, updating demo, blah, 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 all that stuff, right?
Yes.
And I know the difference. And I know when I've got a good talent,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm passionate about those good people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even worry or think about, you know, oh, they haven't booked. I really don't, like, because I really believe in that person. And I know that those things are beyond our control. And maybe that's because I was a talent myself, you know, and I don't know if I connect in that way. But for me, as long as that talent or that, you know, person is so running their own business, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and constantly, you know, working and refining and being the CEO of their, you know, their brand, like, I'm in it for the long run with them, you know, I really am.
That's really,
Because I know that, you know, it's only a matter of time. It might be 10 years, but
yeah.
hey, when it comes in 10 years, we're gonna throw a party, you know what I mean?
And
But you know, so
that's the thing I love about you. That's because that's what I'm looking for. And me personally, agent is somebody that believes in me. You know what I mean? I feel like
mm-hmm,
that is what makes the difference. Because like you said, you could get something right away. It could be something 5 years from now. It doesn't matter. But if you believe and you know that something's going to happen
mm-hmm,
with that talent, because you
mm-hmm.
have that connection with them and you just believe it. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
everybody
and
for an agent should be looking for is that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and but one thing that I cannot stand
Yes.
is like not, you know, not mastering the things that we can control.
Yeah.
Like, I need talent to master the difference between a good headshot and bad headshot,
Yes.
and master self-taping, master like, I'm looking for people that, and how you master something is you do something 10,000 hours worth. So it's like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like,
And
when,
I think that you're
you
great
know,
with that too. Not to interrupt, but I think you're so great with that too. You're constantly giving us tools to do that, like saying, "Okay,
yeah,
this is what a good headshot looks like."
I try.
To get through there, you're like, "Oh, look about this one." You're like,
Oh,
no."
no. Yeah.
So you're constantly showing us this is what a good self tape looks like, you know.
Mhm.
So you know you're constantly doing what you can to
Yeah.
help us in that regards too, you know. So I think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I try.
Yeah. So I know we don't have much time left, but I want to ask you one more question. So
Great.
how um how do you feel that things have changed, since this pandemic has started? Like what are you seeing that's different? Maybe you have a little bit of insight for us, because we're all concerned and worried
Yeah.
of auditions
Yeah.
and like where do we go from here? Like we're not
Yeah.
doing auditions right now. Is it going to come back again? Are we going to do self tapes all the time? Like what are you?
Yeah.
What's your feelings about that?
Okay. I'm really glad that you asked this, because, you know, I actually feel like this is a great opportunity for us folks who, like yourself, who you're so ready to be booked. I mean, you really are, Keisha. Like you always, like you are always refining your stuff. You take all your classes. You're ready, and you've done co-stars, you've done guest stars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've done it. Like, you're ready. You're good.
Yeah.
But we all know that even someone like yourself, like, it's such an ebb and flow. You have, oh my gosh, I've got like 7 auditions this week, and then you go like 2 months and it's like nothing, and it gets so, and there are those casting directors who, like, you see the show and you're like, ah, if I could just like get into that, like that casting director, like I know. And trust me, I'm doing the same thing as your agent. I'm like watching the shows being like, oh my gosh, But before this, things were moving at such a fast pace. Like, nobody had time to do general meetings. Nobody had time to take calls or introductory calls, or, look at this new talent form. Like, everyone was just trying to like keep up and like stay on as the casting director for that show. And I'm just trying to get everybody in to get auditions, because so much was coming through, and it was just so, and I think this time kind of brought back the value and why networking is so awesome, and why building those relationships with casting directors and, other actors and things, why in the past it's a proven method to work, but because of the time we were in, of like, it was just so fast and so much that like everybody was just trying to hang on every day, like seriously. And it was just like, I think because all production stopped there for a while, and it's still pretty much, done. I mean, I know there's been a few things I've been seeing, like, the people trying to film, but in terms of like TV shows and things like that, I haven't seen yet, like, them filming. So I'm sure any day, hopefully, like, it'll start to get closer to doing that, but things really just cut off. So well-known casting directors started doing these, monologue challenges, self-tape challenges. And I think, I can't speak for them. I can only speculate, you know what I mean? Like, but I think they enjoyed almost why they kind of going back to that, root of why they even wanted to be a casting director, and being inspired by just raw good auditions that they really have time to like focus on, because there's no like, oh my god, just pick somebody, or whatever, and they can really, see new faces and meet new faces, or pause and take that moment of like, you know what, their agent has submitted them so many times, and I never ever actually knew that they could do that. Like, I'm not saying that's how it's been, but I know for me, even just as an agent, like being able to like really look at my talents to, because a lot of times agents I don't have time to review everybody's tape before you submit it. That's why as an agent, I have to trust my actor. Like, if you have an actor asking you like about your tape, you probably like, you should be so confident that you and your acting coach or your manager or whatever you submit, especially if you've already submitted it. Now it's different, like if you just want to, you know, and you haven't submitted it yet. But if
Yeah.
you've already like submitted it and you've put your seal on it, why are you now just asking me? Like, I'm confused, you know, because technically if you would have walked into that casting, I'm not there with you in the you know, like what you audition is what you audition.
That's it. You
So
leave it there.
that's, yeah, so like that's the same as an agent, you know. It's like if you've already submitted, like, and you're worried about it, then let's go back and figure out, like, you know. Anyway, I think I kind of got off track there. But so, you know, with this time, you know, it's been really a really great opportunity for actors, especially ones who are ready and know how to tape and know how to do monologues and know how to, and who you know, who are ready to show that they're more than a co-star, or they're more than a 5 line and under, they're more, you know, and that can really bring, you know, a Kerry Washington, you know, character, you know, or a lead, you know, because it's really about showcasing right now. And so, and without this time, we just would have never had that opportunity. Things were just too much, you know. And then when things weren't crazy and busy, like that's when they were on break and trying to have vacation with their family, and all of us were trying to at least breathe for a second. But the last thing we want to do is watch a bunch of new tapes, you know. So with that said, like, yeah, things have really stopped, but there's a lot of good, I think.
We can,
because of that, if you're ready, you know.
it's like meeting people, it's getting out there to meet people, doing some of these different general things, getting your self-tape game
and
up.
and creating your own content too. Like, see, you know, creating your own content. Like, I think it's inspired a lot of, like, you know, new things, whether it be writing or producing, or, you know, doing a YouTube channel, a podcast. Like, all of those things are very, like, they're in your control. Like, and casting, all of that, like, those are all great, and we love that, and, you know, that's why we do what we do. But you don't own that content. Like, you're not in control of that. Like, and you can really build your own empire with your own content, right? That's why executive producers are in the executive producer game. You know what I mean? Because it's like they get a piece of the pie. Well, you know, and other people too, but you know what I mean? Like, more executive levels. But so I think it's actually I hate to say blessing, because I'm not trying to make it sound like Corona's a blessing. But, you know, things really slow down, and there's opportunity now, you know, for us all to really network in a way that we couldn't before, because things were just too much.
It's too much. Yeah. No, I think that's a great answer. And I think it's so important for us to just keep creating content, getting out there and doing things. I didn't even tell anybody this except for a couple of my friends, but I did submit to one of those like monologue challenges. I had to write it myself and everything. Semi-finalist.
Why didn't I know about this? What?
Because it's like, you know, when you get to that point, you're like, okay, you're
like, okay.
You know,
the moment I say something is the moment I sabotage it. I know that feeling.
I only told like 3 friends.
I'm not gonna tell anybody. Like, I know.
Right.
That's how you know you've actually really been in the game. Is if, like, until you like see your call sheet, you don't say a word.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that was great. This is a really good casting director, and good to get in front of, and I got that, you know what I'm saying? So I think we need to just keep ourselves in.
And you wouldn't have, I'm telling you, they would not have been doing these challenges. They just wouldn't have. And it's, and so kudos to them. Thank you, casting, so much. Like, you know, I mean, thank you. Like, it's, you know, it helps us all, you know. So,
and just, you know, to wrap everything up, once again, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Can you tell people the best way to follow you? Like, what on social media? What's a good way they can follow you?
Yeah, well, of course, I'll take some more social media, you know, like follow me. No, but so social media. So on Instagram, it's the Jenn David, because Jenn David is mistaken. Nah, sorry. Anyway.
Right?
Yeah, it's two N's. Yeah. So the Jenn David. Actually, all my social media is the Jenn David. LinkedIn. Any you know, for more business stuff. Yeah, I use LinkedIn a lot, but and yeah, so just social media. And the agency, you know, website is jldavidagency.com if you want to go on there. But other than that, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you again so much for
You're welcome.
coming on, taking it to. I know sometimes I'm like nervous to ask, like, I just started. People aren't gonna want to, but so far everybody's.
That's not true. People want to. I promise.
Great. So
yes.
I'm excited. So
that's how I feel when I'm always, you know, emailing people too. But you know what? You just send it. Just send it. Because you'll be surprised. So, but thank you. I was excited. So thank you.
So awesome. So thank you so much, and we'll talk again soon. Have an amazing day.
Good, Keisha. Bye.
Bye. That's all for another episode of Let's Talk with Keisha. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel at Keisha Bar, and you can also head on over to Instagram to follow my page at Keisha Bar as well. Thanks for coming by. See you soon.